Welcome to Jesus Calling for October 14th. Be prepared to suffer for me in my name. We're going to look at James 1, verses 2 to 4, and Psalm 107, 21 to 23. James was written by James, who was Jesus' half-brother, not actually the disciple James. Some people get that confused. And we're going to look at James, and we're going to look at verses 2 to 4. And the chapter title is Trials and Temptations. Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And then Psalm 107, 21 to 22. Let him give thanks to the Lord for his unfailing love and his wonderful deeds for men. Let them sacrifice thank offerings and tell all of his works with songs of joy. Be prepared to suffer for me in my name. All suffering has meaning in my kingdom. Pain and problems are opportunities to demonstrate your trust in me. Bearing your circumstances bravely, even thanking me for them, is one of the highest forms of praise. Wow, that's an interesting thought, isn't it? I'm going to read that one again. Bearing your circumstances bravely, even thanking me for them, is one of the highest forms of praise. This sacrifice of thanksgiving rings gold-toned bells of joy throughout the heavenly realms. I bet it does. On earth also, your patient suffering sends out ripples of good tidings in ever-widening circles. When suffering strikes, remember that I am sovereign and that I can bring good out of everything. Do not try to run from pain or hide from problems. Instead, accept adversity in my name, offering it up to me for my purposes. Thus, your suffering gains meaning and draws you closer to me. Joy emerges from the ashes of adversity through your trust and thankfulness. As you can see, I've highlighted this whole devotion. There's so much great stuff in there. And I'm just going to read that one more time. Bearing your circumstances bravely, even thanking me for them, is one of the highest forms of praise. You know, that's just really opposite of what we would do, right? When something bad happens, we worry about it, we fret about it, we complain about it, but he's saying that we should turn that back to him. And another great line in here, so many great lines. When suffering strikes, remember that I am sovereign and I can bring good out of everything. And, you know, that's really important to remember too when we're going through hard times, but it's hard to do, isn't it? I mean, everything that they said today is great. In reality, yes, sometimes it is really hard to do. But knowing that, he doesn't cause pain. We live in a sinful world, so sinful things are going to happen, bad things are going to happen. And I know I have just gone to so many funerals lately. I don't know about you, but so many. A youth leader had a heart attack, and a good friend of mine lost her brother who had just had a heart transplant, and now another friend just lost their 26-year-old son. And it just seems like, sometimes things just come and come and come, and there's just, death all around and people losing jobs. And I know we have COVID, and sometimes it just seems like lately there's just a lot of bad news and not so much, good news going on. But yet, we will praise him, right? Because God is sovereign. And he sees all this, and he knows all this, and he's aware of it. And he could stop things if he wanted to, but for whatever reason, in his big picture, this is just what he's allowing to happen right now. And somehow, and you can always see it, not right away, of course, but a year or 5 or 10 years down the road, a lot of times you can see how his glory was given and shown through to that, and how people grew in their faith. And when do we grow, right? In the hard times. In the good times, a lot of times we just forget about God. But when things are hard, then you turn to him. So sometimes he allows hard things in our life just to turn our hearts back to him. And then just, again, to give you that experience if you're going through something hard, because then when someone else is going through that experience, right now, if somebody would be going through cancer, I cannot relate to that at all. But there's other things that I've been through that I could relate to. And then you were able to come alongside that person, and you were able to help that person like nobody else can, because you've gone through that same suffering, and you have seen your wonderful, sovereign God bring you through it. So next time you're in a hard time, don't try to rush through it. Just try to learn from it and see God in it and give him the glory. And then next time you'll be able to help somebody else go through it too, which again gives God the glory. Have a peaceful day, and I will see you tomorrow. You can order your own Jesus Calling devotional book by going to jesuscalling.com. And I would love to answer any questions you may have about faith in Jesus. Just email me through my website, nancyjoytoyou.com. And I hope you go out and shine for Him today. See you tomorrow.